Hi everyone, hope you're keeping safe and taking poetry a notch higher. I want to welcome you to yet another interesting poetry segment. So, does analyzing poems feel like being entangled in a forest and trying to identify the botanical name for each and every tree? If that's the situation, then I would require a few minutes to break poetry into digestible pieces for all and sundry. Today, our main focus would be on poetic terms, specifically the sound devices. We should be all aware that poetry is very musical, and every poet tries with all their might and main to achieve musicality in their various poems. So what are some of the sound devices that are employed in poetry? The first one is alliteration. It's a concept that is widely used in poetry, and the sooner we understand alliteration, the better. It's the repetition of initial, identical, consonant sounds in words at close proximity. The definition sounds like a tongue twister, doesn't it? So this is an instance whereby you use words that have a similar initial or first sound. The letter at the beginning of every word begins in an identical way. For example, in this line of a particular poem, Sarah sang a sweet song. Every word begins with letter S or sound S. Therefore, this is an instance of alliteration. It's a deliberate effort on the side of the poet to source for words that are identical in terms of their initial letter or initial sound. If you love poetry, you will notice that it's a device that is widely used and it gives a musical feel to the particular poem. We have got two examples here, whereby the first poem, the poet has alliterated letter F or sound F in the above poem. The second one is equally the same, whereby there is an element of alliteration of sound ch or letters ch. Charlie the cheetah does not like to cheat. Charlie the cheetah does not like to cheat. If you are listening to such a performance, you'd probably be amused or interested by the repetition of sound ch in the second poem. So you better think about how you can achieve this device in your future poems. So that is alliteration. The second sound device is assonance, and here we focus on vowel sounds. I want to take you to your early years where you were taught the 5 basic vowel sounds. Can you remember them? Sound A, E, O, A. 5 basic vowel sounds. So if you want to use this sound device, then you'll be sourcing for words that have got similar vowel sounds. For example, in this poem, the first line, there is a pattern. There's a pattern created by repetition of vowel sounds. And in this case, sound A is repeated in the first line. And in the second line, a combination of, this is a diphthong for those who have done an analysis of vowel sounds, whereby it's a combination of sound A and A, right? In the third one, there is repetition of sound O. And therefore, it makes the poem pleasant for the eye and for the ear. You look at the pattern created by this vowel sound, and it's so interesting to watch, to read actually, and also to listen in. So this is a device, assonance. We can as well look at the third sound device in poetry, known as consonants. Consonants. So here we are looking at close repetition of consonant sounds anywhere within the words. Here you are not restricted to the initial letter or initial sound. We are looking at the use of consonant sounds. Remember consonant letters, back to our early years, we are looking at B, C, D, F, G, H. Those are consonant letters in the alphabet. So if you find an instance whereby there is a pattern created by similar consonant letters or consonant sounds in the middle of a word or at the end, then just know it's a sound device. It's a style of writing known as consonants. Poets are very interesting individuals. They like being expressive figuratively. So this is an element. We have got this example whereby we've got 3 lines sourced from different poems. The first one is an element of consonants produced by letters MPY, lumpy, bumpy. Second line, string, strong. Of course, they have the same ending. Some mammals, clammy. Another beautiful usage of this interesting sound device. Then from there, we are looking at onomatopoeia, another sound device. It gives people, my students, jitters to pronounce this word, onomatopoeia. We are looking at onomatopoeic words, words that mimic the sound produced by animals, various objects, or people. All right, think about instances where people produce various sounds. When you are yelling, when you are crying, or when you are urinating, you produce some onomatopoeic words. All right, so these are words to imitate the sound made by the object in a particular poem. We have got a whole list of onomatopoeic words, and a poet might consider using this onomatopoeic jargon to flavor their poem and give it a musical feel. And it's also used to authenticate the poem, give it a natural feel. For example, when you're talking about the thunder, the hissing of the snake, the hooting of some animals, the way a pig grunts or a child cries, those onomatopoeic words make poetry very unique. It becomes a very interesting piece, very interesting form of literature. Yeah, so I've just given an example of onomatopoeic words and how they could be used. Therefore, in our next sessions, we want to look at poems that have made use of this beautiful sound device. So the flood water gushed. Gushed is an example of onomatopoeic word, a word that imitates or mimic the sound produced by the floods. They all hooted. The wind howled. My teeth chattered. The corn popped in the microwave. So the popping sound, it's an onomatopoeic word. And a poet, they're at liberty to use these onomatopoeic words in their various poems. Then last but not least, we are looking at rhymes or rhyming words. These are words whose endings match. Therefore, in a given line of a particular poem, you might consider using words that have a similar ending. We call them rhyming words. For example, the word fly and spy, they rhyme. They have a similar ending. I have a very beautiful poem over here, and we can pick several rhyming words. The word night and candlelight, they rhyme because of the ending, night light. Way, day. Sea and tree, they rhyme. Feet, street. You, blue. Play and day. So this is what makes poetry a distinguished genre, a very interesting form of literature, because of this various figurative language that are used by poets to make their work outstanding. So the next time you're presented with a poem, you want to take time to analyze the sound devices and just know it's a deliberate effort to give that particular poem a musical feel. So thanks so much for listening in. It was a pleasure doing sound devices with you. You want to check at my YouTube channel for more analysis in this beautiful genre known as poetry. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. It will give me a lot of joy. Thank you so much. Have a great time.